relax. I tell you, so much craziness going on before I go live, and sometimes you wonder how you do it. How you do it, but I tell you, you just keep doing it. We have a very, very special show tonight. I have somebody that I really look up to, a very, very talented artist, talented actor, performer, director, writer. And I'm taking my time here because since I saw him at the Actors Studio quite a few years ago in session, and I saw his work and I said, oh my God. We talked about that over the phone, right, Gabe?
Sure, yeah.
4 weeks ago. A truly remarkable talent. That's my very special guest tonight. And this beautiful girl right here, baby doll, you're having a seat right now with your mama and your daddy. Charlie, baby, that's how you pronounce your name, right? Charlie Dane. She's gonna be a musical guest. She's gonna be closing the show tonight. We're very excited. We had a tough week. We had the Hurricane Sandy. Last week, it was a little crazy. We had to cancel show last week. I don't like to cancel. I come to my show even when I'm sick, even when I'm dying. I'm always here. But I'm very happy with the elections. I was in Times Square Tuesday night, and I tell you, I was hoping to see more people, Gabe. What happened? It was crowded 4 years ago. I was there with the CNN people, and I was so happy, man. And then when I got there Tuesday, there was nobody there. I mean, nobody, like maybe what, 100,000 people, 20,000 people. Not what I was expecting, but very happy to see Mr. Obama winning the election once again. So, Gabe.
Yes.
Can we talk?
Yes, we can.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's a privilege to have you here. Like I said, when I'm somebody who, as you know, I admire actors and I get excited when I see great talent.
So do I.
Right, and so are you. I know
Yeah.
that. Can we go back in time? We have your friend here, Jason. He's smiling to us. I would like to bring you to the camera. I don't know if he's too shy. A little too late to ask, right, Jason?
I'm fine right here.
You're fine right there. What the hell? Let's start to Gabe. I want to talk to you. Where do we start going back? In the beginning of time, growing up in Long Island, right? Going to school, not the greatest grades, but a great actor. How can you explain that, man? Where is that talent coming from?
How did you know that I didn't have good grades?
Because I write it in your bio. Did I write it? Yes.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not making this up.
No, I wear it on my sleeve.
You, okay. Well, you know what? Honestly, a lot of great actors and great talented people that didn't have the greatest grades.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Einstein, he never did. Benjamin Franklin, he never did. Abraham Lincoln, he never did. Daniel Day-Lewis coming up. I can't wait to see this. So, I'm not impressed. We were talking about it. I'm not impressed about great grades. I'm not impressed with AIMB or MBBDD or whatever you call it, right?
Well, that's good.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's good.
I'm not impressed with awards. I'm not impressed with college degrees,
Good.
baby.
There's small words.
Yeah.
I can't use any big words.
Right. I don't like that. It makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Yeah.
Anxious.
Anxious.
Gabe, I tell you, even when I see you, the first time that you and me we have a conversation, and it's a little tough for me because you're a little too intimidating. And I see you at the Actors Studio quite a few times, but I said to Charles, man, I cannot approach this man for some crazy reason.
Why? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I felt that you were a little too intimidating. You know, but not having you here.
Can you curse on this show? No,
You can do whatever you want.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, no, you're not. You are. I think you're a hot guy. When you're hot and you're talented, you don't need to talk much,
That's
do you?
definitely subjective.
I know you are. I know you're a hot guy. I've seen those girls. Oh God, you're a married man. I can't bring that up. That's not right. I know you're very devoted. So, let's change the subject. Let's talk about you. Your acting. Where do we start? The beginning. I want to hear the beginning.
Okay, go ahead. Where do you want to start?
I want to hear the beginning. When you decided to become an actor, what made that decision? When you made that decision?
I don't remember deciding ever to become one. It's just decide in what way. Like I want to be like an actor.
Yes.
No, it's
do you
just.
remember a special moment that
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
went
do.
back and
I was
said,
getting an oral interpretation in a music class. I wanted to be a musician, like a guitar player, but I didn't really have the talent to back that up. So it was a lot of work, and I don't like the work.
You do like
So,
the work.
no, not really. I mean,
come on,
if it's
Dave.
fun, it's fun.
It's
I don't
fun.
like sitting in front of a guitar all day. And
Right,
I got
right.
my finger kind of flicks itself when I and my pinky was horrible. So I was a rhythm guitar player a little bit, but I had to give an oral interpretation about in music class about Ludwig van Beethoven, and I didn't do any of the research, and I could just kind of like made a comparison to Ludwig van Beethoven to Edward Van Halen. It was a bad comparison, and it was ridiculous. And my the nun teacher, I went to a Catholic school, St. John's, and my teacher at the time was Sister Damien, and Sister Damien said, "Why don't you try out for the play? You know, you smart aleck. Why don't you go and you know, waste somebody else's time? You know." But she was very encouraging, and so I tried out for a play, Godspell it was, and I didn't get a role. I got a small little like chorus part, but then somebody didn't show up one day, and I filled in for him, and I just gave a lot of. I just had like an understanding of what was going on, and I just kind of like went for it, because I was a lot of repression gets filtered through you in that moment. It's an opportunity to be recognized, you know, like some sort of recognition, I guess, not knowing it at the time, but that's what it was. And he was impressed. The director, Noel Ruiz was his name. I remember that. Creative Ministries was his company at the time, and he was asked to do a school play, and he saw that commitment, and he gave me a little skit. We had a little sketch that would go through the show, based on one of the was a parable that they would reenact in the play Godspell, and we did like a little skit. I think I did like a Joey Suzu kind of imitation, little sketch. Joey Suzu, you know who that is?
No
Anybody
idea.
remember
No,
Joey
when
Suzu?
I do know, I do know. When I do not, I do not know.
Yeah, he was
Sorry
this
about
like
that.
little
I'm not
character. He's this character that was sold these Suzus. He was like a used car salesman.
Okay,
And I just kind of did it like him. He was popular at the time.
Okay.
That's
But
it.
basically,
It's all downhill from there.
oh, come on. Your ability on stage is pretty remarkable, you know, and when you see that kind of work, you want to see where is that coming from. School, going to the actor studio, new school, right? The new school? You did?
I did.
You studied with Elizabeth Kemp,
Yes, I did.
one of my girls. I love that woman to no end. She's a bright
So do I.
lady.
Yeah,
She's
she is.
so bright.
She's very bright.
I saw her doing a thing about Carl Young not too long ago, and I
Right.
couldn't believe how smart she was. I know she's a smart woman, but she looked so striking in that stage.
She's
and
intelligent.
so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as she opened her mouth, I said, "Oh my God, pure intelligence and
Yeah.
sensitivity."
Yeah, there's nobody like her.
Nobody. Nobody. Can we talk about those years in school?
Sure. What do you want to know?
The classes.
The classes?
Your first acting class.
I had no
in that
idea what was
school.
going on, but it was interesting. It was fun. We had to lie down and use our imagination, and you hear somebody crying or trying to cry or something like that, and people laughing out of nowhere. You felt like you had the freedom to really be like you're in a mental institution in a good way.
Right, in a good way.
Because
In a good,
because
healthy
you're not
way.
really in a mental institution, but
Right.
you get to be free like that and be crazy
Right.
and be bold, daring, scary, dangerous, and interesting, and you deep as you can go, however deep you want to go, and you don't have to apologize for it, and kind of get away with it. So,
Do you think it's good to be in touch with our dark side, Gabe?
well, I don't know. It depends on who you are, right?
Well, but in terms of like, you know, because we are afraid to go to dark places
Yeah,
in real
sure.
life.
I think you should be aware of the dark place, to know that it's there, so it doesn't
Right.
creep up on you,
Right,
and you don't control it. You know,
right.
in real life.
In real life. In terms of exploration, we can talk for hours, and I know that we can talk for hours because you and me, we had a conversation almost an hour on the phone,
Yeah.
talking exclusively about acting. How do you approach the work, Gabe? What do you do? Let's say when you're doing a scene for the studio, when you're directing a scene, because I saw that thing that you directed on Facebook.
1031. It's a short
And
film.
I was so impressed because I said the level of acting is so high. And
Yeah, they were good. They were good actors in there.
Great actor, but you're very, very, very talented. And I tell you, I was like, oh, there's a Clint Eastwood quality about it. Like, there's a very raw quality about it. And I said, I want to know about your approach to the work.
To directing or to acting?
First through acting and then directing.
Well, they both kind of lend themselves to each other. I was influenced. I mean, start from the beginning. It's a journey. It's a long story, and I know we only have like so much time. But right now, I feel like I was very influenced by. I was watching these session tapes, so they're not really session tapes. They're more tapes on Stella Adler, and there's a documentary that I watched on YouTube. Yeah, and there were like 6 or 7 parts of it, and I had read one of her books. I think it was Strindberg, Chekhov, and
Oh yeah, Stella and Chekhov, Strindberg, and Ibsen.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
I've read that, and I felt like, and I know that she met with Stanislavski in his latter years. And I read his book. That was Torpakov, who wrote Stanislavski in Rehearsal in his later years, in his last 3 plays. It was Dead Souls, Three Sisters, and Moliere play, Tartuffe. And,
Tartuffe, I love that play.
Yeah, and he documented his Stanislavski's work in the latter years of his life. And from what I understand, Stella met with him during those years, or maybe a little before, I'm not too sure when, but what she brought back and what I saw in the way in the YouTube episodes, I saw that I understood. I began to understand how you can just put everything that you've learned in all those years and learning Lee Strasberg's methodology to acting, and I studied with Barbara Portier, late Barbara Portier.
Just passed away not
She
too
passed
long
away
ago.
a couple months ago. David Gideon, the late Geraldine Barron as well. They studied with Strasberg, and I studied with them, and I've got their take on his approach. And but it wasn't until I watched those tapes that I actually kind of started to understand what it all meant. There's no real way to do anything. It's sort of like you're putting parameters on yourself when you try to adhere to some sort of technique or some sort of form. And so you kind of like let go of those barriers and just, hey, you know what? I like doing it this way. And the way I like to do it is I like to try to understand what the person does, what the character does as a living, as a job, where they came from, what background they have. Like if it's a police officer in a certain district, in a certain county, in a certain state, where do they live and what kind of a family life they have, because that's going to influence their behavior and their action, and because you're only identified by what you do, and that determines who you are. So you go in as yourself, as the actor, and you understand the person you're going to portray and play, and you understand what they do, and then you are that cop, and that is your character. So there's no idea of what the person has to be. Is you free yourself from idea, and when you free yourself of the idea, you're able to. I like what Bruce Lee says in one of his movies. He was training one of his little. I forget the movie. I think it was Enter the Dragon.
Charles knows
Enter
all
the
the
Dragon.
movies.
I think it was, and he tells the kid, hits him in the head, and he said, "Don't pay attention to the finger, because then you won't see the heavens of the moon." So forget about yourself and what you look like and what you're doing, and just go for that. It's sort of like a Zen way of looking at it.
Right.
It
I'm
makes
following
sense.
you. You're pretty deep, Gabe.
Nah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
shallow.
No way.
Yeah.
Not to me.
Yeah.
Not to me.
Oh.
Not to me. When I seen you working on the studio, when I seen your work,
That's what's deep. 10 feet.
very deep, man. Very deep.
Not 12 feet.
Deep. Okay?
Deep is 12 feet.
To
for
me, you're very deep. Okay, that's the word that I was looking for. I said, why he's so profound? He's very profound. And like I said, your sensitivity is very high. Even you see, this is very interesting because I don't get nervous very easily. I like talking to people. I like interacting with people. But it's something about you that makes me a little uneasy, and I like that feeling because I don't like to be safe. I think that knowledge comes when you feel a little uncertain, and when you doubt, and when you fear, and when you're scared. There's something about